Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel Oracle Buddy. If you are new to our channel, I'm so glad you are here. We create videos on merchandising, foundation, cloud services. In this video, we are going to explore the topic of inventory management, and I'm super excited to share my thoughts and insights with you. Are you ready to get started? Let's begin. In today's chapter, inventory management, following topics will be covered: introduction, transfers versus allocation, transfer types, transfer creation process, transfer approval process, what are upcharges, work orders, dispatches, receipts, receiving adjust, what is the return to vendor, how to do inventory adjustment, and what is inventory adjustment, and few interview questionnaires. So, what is a transfer? Transfers are used to move stock within the company from one location to another directly, or if necessary, using an intermediate finisher that will send goods from another location, both physical and virtual locations. Finishers are required for transfer that will have work orders, transformation, or packing instruction. So, if you here you can see, so stock movement between warehouse is also called from one warehouse to other warehouse is also called a transfer. Stock movement from a warehouse to store is also a transfer, and return to stores also return from stores are also transfers, and stock movement between the stores is also transfer. So transfer zones are set up to restrict the transfer of items to locations within the transfer zone. We can create transfer from location where stock exists, that is, stock on hand should be greater than zero. Transfer cannot be received without a shipment. Transfer can be closed automatically if the shipped quantity equals to the received quantity. So let's find the difference between the transfer and allocation. So transfer is just one destination. Origin location might be store or warehouse, can use intermediate between store and warehouse, are used for return from store, stock movement between warehouse, stock movement between stores, stock movement between warehouse and store due to replenishment or manual transfer. Whereas allocation, it can may have multiple location or destination as locations. The origin location is always warehouse and the destination is always store, normally used to make the first push into stores. So here is the pictorial representation of transfer and allocation. So here if you can see a store to store, any movement of inventory can be done through transfers. Similarly from between the warehouse and warehouse, and store to warehouse, and warehouse to store, and warehouse to store via a finisher. So these are all transfers. Here you can see it is multi-directional, so we can do any way. But in allocation, it goes from warehouse to multiple destination. Here in transfer, you can send it to only one destination location, whereas allocation is always from warehouse to store, and it can be allocation can be done to multiple stores. Like whatever quantity you have, you can allocate it into multiple stores to send it. So now we will discuss about the transfer types. The following transfer types are created automatically. First is store requisition and second is PO link transfer. So store requisition, stock is transferred based on replenishment need from location is always a warehouse. PO link transfer, when not enough stock is available at a warehouse to fill a store order, the transfer is linked to a PO that was created to satisfy the remaining need from location is always a warehouse. The following transfer types are created manually. First one is administrative. Stock is transferred for administrative purpose rather than merchandising. Book transfer. Stock is transferred between two virtual warehouses within the same physical warehouse. The transfer is created, approved, and closed in one step. No shipment records are created. This option is available in multi-channel environment. Next type of transfer is a confirmation transfer. The detail of transfer are entered after the transfer has already occurred. Next is customer order. Stock is reserved for a customer. The stock may be shipped to the customer address or held for pickup by the customer. Next is manual recreation or MR type, used a general purpose transfer when no other type of transfer is applicable. The most common and basic transfer. Return to vendor, stock that is marked as return to vendor and is transferred to a consolidation location to be returned to the supplier. And the transfer is an intercompany transfer. Stock is transferred between two transfer entities or set of books dependent on system option. The transfer may have three locations associated with it: an origin location, a finishing location, and a destination location, or two locations associated with an origin location or destination location. The finishing location is not a mandatory if it doesn't have any packaging or rearrangement not needed, so it is no finishers are required. The finishing location or an intercompany transfer within the finishing must have the same transfer entity or unit as either the origin location or the destination location. Next type of transfer is reallocation. The stock is marked as relocation is transferred to a consolidation location to be distributed to other store. Now we will see how to create transfer from RMS UI. You have to go to task menu, select inventory, transfer, create transfer, and you will get a transfer create transfer page, and then you have to fill the transfer type, inventory status, department, location, finisher, to location, delivery date, and then you have to fill the detail level and location level. So we will have a separate session of UI session how to create a transfer, and most probably it will be released in month of April. So stay tuned to check for the UI videos on April. Next topic we will discuss is the mass return transfer or MRT. So allows to create a mass transfer for many items from many stores back to single warehouse. There are two types of MRTs. One is mass returns. Items are transferred from multiple location to a consolidation location to distribute them to other stores. A transfer is created with the transfer type relocation. Return to vendor. Items are transferred from multiple location to a consolidation location and then returned to the vendor. If RTV is set up to be created automatically, the RTV is created on the date you enter. Alternatively, a RTV can be created manually. So this is the return transfer screen. So here if you can see, it has all the details of item location and MRT number and RTV number. Next topic is transfer approval process. So how we'll see the life cycle of transfers. So first, when we create a transfer, it remains in input status. Then once we submit it, it goes to submitted status. And once we click on approve, it goes to approved status. And it sends the approved data via XML or flat file to some other origin. Next, if you want to delete it, it goes to deleted status. Once approved, once it is shipped, so it goes to in progress, and then finally it get closed. So SOH follows between transfer reserved quantity from site, in transit quantity, transfer expected quantity to site, and stock on hand. Transfer have the following statuses: input, the transfer has been started but not completed; submitted, the transfer has been completed and is pending review; approved, the transfer has been reviewed and has been approved; shipped, system creates shipment records for transfer; picked, item on the transfer have been selected for shipping to the next receiver; in progress, the transfer has been shipped to the next receiver in the transfer; deleted, the transfer is marked for deletion; it will be deleted by a regularly scheduled batch program. Last is close status. The transfer has been received at the final location and is complete. Next topic we will discuss is location upcharge. It allows user to apply increase in the cost of an item when it is transferred from location to another. It may incur internal cost each time it is handled, such storage cost, value added services, transportation fee, and taxes. Different upcharges can be associated with a transfer from any location type of any another location type. Applying an upcharge will increase the WAC or unit cost at the receiving location, depends on cost method in use. New cost component upcharges can be created at control, landed cost, cost component maintenance. Location of charges must be added associated at department or item level. Next is we will discuss about work orders. At the transfer, we may need to set up additional information required to complete the transfer like finishing action. Whenever it is necessary, we can use the work orders activity for the transfer. And if there are certain regular activities, we can create a work order template that will allow you to apply the set of activities to a work order on a transfer. Next topic is dispatches. Shipment originate from variety of sources. So shipment can come via ASN shipments, by system transmitted by external system, by system ASN. So let's discuss about ASN shipments. Shipments are created automatically from advanced shipping notice ASN that are received from suppliers via ADI or electronic data interface. Shipments are next is system. Shipments are transmitted by an external system such as warehouse management system. System ASN shipments are created automatically when a shipment is received before the ASN is received via EDI or any external system. Item may be received online at the receiving system against shipments that are created by the system ASN. Next type of is system UCC 128. Shipments for cartons are transmitted by external system. Cartons and their associated items may be received online against shipment created by UCC 128. ASN UCC 128 shipments are created automatically from carton level ASN that are received from suppliers via EDI. Next topic is receipts. So incoming stock movements as destination and location. Receipts derived from purchase orders or transfer. Impacts are purchase orders, PO closure, 100%. If quantity is received, it will be quantity received, service level agreement with the supplier. Transfers, it will impact the transfers as well. Quantity updated by item location, reserve, expected quantity, in transit quantity, and transfer closures. Quality control, ORMS allow the validation of merchandising quality delivered by the supplier, a flag at supplier level. When a supplier is created, it is possible to define if quality control QC is required. What is the overall percentage that needs to be checked for quality control inspection frequency. Next topic is online shipping and receiving. For smaller retailers who don't have integrated store and warehouse system, provide the option to perform shipping and receiving function within RMS. Shipping, transfer, purchase order or return to vendor, receiving, transfer, allocation or purchase order. This functionality is activated or deactivated based on system option settings. Use RMS for shipping, receiving at warehouse. Shipping can be done for transfer, purchase order, or return to vendors, and receiving can be done for transfer, allocation, or purchase orders. This functionality is activated or deactivated based on system option settings. Use RMS for shipping, receiving at warehouse, yes or no, ship receive warehouse indicator, and use RMS for shipping, receiving at store, yes or no, ship receive store. Activation, deactivation examples. The location type list of values will be filled according to system options. The ship option in menu options will be enabled based on system option. Example, return to vendor or transfer form. So we will have a session on the transfer receiving where we will show you how to receive and ship via RMS. Next is receiving, used instead of a receipt notice from an external system, used to record merchandise from an incoming shipment related to a PO, transfer, or allocation as received at warehouse or store. Display the items or cartons expected on the shipment. RTV ship does not create shipment records in shipment tables, only change the status from approved 10 to shipped 15 and decreases RTV quantity and stock on hand buckets. We will have a RTV session. In that, we will see how the stock on hand and statuses get changed for an RTV. User can indicate item quantities or carton receipts, indicate receipt of an unexpected items. Auto receiving for stores, records incoming merchandise as received as soon as it is shipped, enable based on system option. Used instead of receiving window, triggered by shipment creation process. applies to shipments for transfer and allocation, but not PO. Next, we will discuss about stock order reconciliation. Transfer can be received by a overage or shortage in the delivery location. Reasons: human error in picking process, freight loss, rob, human error in the receiving process. ORMS allows automatic closing of all transfer, turn on off transfer auto close store or transfer auto close warehouse. All discrepancy between shipped and received systems can automatically close according predefined parameter, that is TSF post close indicator. It can be set as SL, which is sender's loss, RL is receiver's loss, BL is both loss, and NL is no loss. So in case if you are using any of these, so if you are using sender loss, so whatever, when we force close the transfer, so it will have the stock on hand will be lost from the sender's location. Receiving adjustment allowed to adjust reception data for one or more item location. Cost reception adjustment, unit reception adjustment can be applied in reception stock movement history. Next, we will talk about average cost adjustments. Allow the user to adjust the item location average cost at the transaction data table is inserted a record with tran code 70, which is cost variance, adjustment code C, which is cost, and program name is avcstadj.fmb. So these are the transfer related forms like transfer search, maintenance header, maintenance detail, transfer entity maintenance, transfer entity setup books. So you can go through this. So it has a particular things to do. You can see it on the screen. Next, we will discuss about the transfer data flow chart. So once you click on the FMB, so which all tables are getting updated, like TSF head, whenever we are creating transfers, or TSF head, when we are filling the transfer details, TSF detail, shipment tables is populated once it is shipped for order customer, odd cust table, org unit FMB, org unit transfer entity, org unit TSF entity. So all these tables are getting updated. So these are the transfer data models. So TSF head, TSF detail, order cost, shipment, ships queue, TSF entity, TSF entity org unit. So these are the all important tables related to transfers. Next, we will discuss about return to vendor. Return to vendor provides a way to send merchandise back to a supplier, composed of one or more items being returned from a single store or warehouse to a single supplier. At supplier level can be defined minimums and maximums to return, handling charges, authorization requirements. So there are three types of RTV channels: store to warehouse, warehouse to supplier, and store to supplier. RTV cost. The cost field displays the net purchase price of the last receipt, including any off invoice deals, further reduced by any restocking deduction. Next, WAC, weighted average cost, will be used if the last receipt is not found and costs are modifiable. Let's discuss about the RTV life cycle. So first RTV comes in input state, then it is approved, and then it is shipped, and it can be cancelled. So these are all the status for the RTV. So new returns to vendor create as input status, requires approval before shipment can occur. Return to vendor can be cancelled up until it has shipped, does not allow edit after return to vendor is shipped. Approved orders can return to input status for editing. Now let's discuss about inventory adjustment. One of the important thing to for the inventory control. So inventory adjustment allows to adjust total stock on hand or unavailable inventory for one or more item location. Stock on hand adjustment, the quantity of stock on hand for any item location specified is increased or decreased. Both the quantity and the value of the stock on hand are adjusted in the stock ledger, goes to trend data table to be processed later by the batches. Inventory adjustment can be done in RMS by item and locations. The following inventory adjustment reason codes are required by RMS and cannot be deleted unless the noted functionally is not utilized. So reason code 1, 2, 13, 190 and 191 are there. So with tran codes, we should give the reason codes to do while doing the inventory adjustment. We can have some other reason codes as well based on the client's requirement. Next topic is inventory visibility. Inventory in ORMS is managed at the item location level. where can be consulted the following stock information: on hand, total stock available on the location, on order, total stock on order to suppliers, in transit, stock not yet received at the location but already shipped from the origin location. Reserved, stock reserved for transfers not yet shipped. Expected, stock expected from transfer not yet shipped. Unavailable, stock on hand, unavailable at the location. And RTV, stock to be returned to the vendors but not yet shipped. So this all on hand, what will be the on order or in transit reserved expected. So we will see in our UI video how the stock on hand is changed while we do an inventory adjustment or a transfer. We will see how we will have a live session on how the uh, stock on hand bucket is changed. This stock information is collected in ORMS from two origins: ORMS functionality as purchase order, inventory adjustment, transfer, and warehouse management system, where stock can be received, suggested, returned to vendor. So this is a batch diagram. So transfer purge will delete data from these table, transfer head detail, and how the data will flow. So this is a pictorial representation. So next is other inventory management related forms. So these are the all different related forms. Like for RTV, it is rtv.fmb. For inventory adjustment by item, it is inv.adjsk.fmb. For receiver unit adjustment, this one is the FMB, transfer detail. So these are all the transfer inventory management related FMB. Please go through this. Few more FMBs are there. So you can go through this detail on the screen. So these FMBs which we discussed before, like which all tables it will update, like tsfwo.fmb will update or be tsfwo detail and tsfwo head table. Similarly, rtv.fmb, when we use it, it will, once we create RTV, it will go to RTV head and detail. Inventory adjustment, it will insert in the data in INV ADJ. So these are all details of the other FMBs. Please check how these tables are getting populated. Next is some other inventory management data models. So here are the few important tables related to inventory management, like RTV head, RTV detail, inventory adjustment status, inventory status quantity, bowl shipment, bowl ship SKU. So all these are the inventory management data model related tables. Please go through these tables and check it in your database to get more information, and refer to the data model provided by Oracle to get more information on the columns. Now let's discuss about important interview questionnaires. So during interview, the interviewer may ask you what to explain types of transfers, how, what, and when the codes are posted, and how inventory bucket are changed. So this is a very important question. This is the basic questions to understand if you know inventory adjustment or any transfer. So they will ask you the stock on hand bucket flow. Next question may be difference between transfer and allocation. Third is it possible to set up charges to the total of the transfer shipment? Fourth question is it possible to adjust the stock by the stock count counted instead of the difference between of what counted and the stock on RMS or MFCS? So I have pasted the answers for few of the questions. Please go through this to get more information. Next, go to conclusion. Inventory control is one of the foremost function of merchandising. Proper inventory control allows the retailer to have optimum accurate inventory at the various entities of business like stores and warehouse. Span of the inventory control ranges from receiving merchandise from supplier and managing it during the time or on retailer premise to supplying to franchise partner and returning to vendors. Merchandising facility, end-to-end management of inventory including receiving, transfer, adjustment, Reconciliation, mass return transfer, return to vendor, franchise, order management, stock count, item transformation, and work order maintenance. Acknowledgement, we refer to Oracle Little documentation and few blocks, which is mentioned here. You can go through these Oracle Little documentation and blocks to get more information. Thank you everyone for joining. Please follow us on LinkedIn. I hope that you like the video. Please inform your opinion after all sessions by a comment. Please share this video with your friend and allow them to learn about MFCS. If you have any questions related to the topic, please leave a comment. Thank you for staying with me for this long time, and I hope you have a great day. Please like, comment, and subscribe to our Oracle Buddy.